On this day, it is my privilege to join Chancellor Motley in presenting the John F. Kennedy Award for Academic Excellence to the most deserving student. Daniela Bravo-Terkia, please step forward.
Now this is one of yours. As a student, Daniela has compiled an impressive record of achievement, standing out with strong performances in all of her classes here at the University of Massachusetts, Boston. But like many of our students, like many of you, it is her personal circumstances, passion, and service that make her story truly exceptional. A Chilean immigrant, Daniela came to the United States at the age of 12 with her parents and eventually found herself undocumented and facing the hardships and the obstacles associated with that experience. These hardships and obstacles became her passion and they became her drive to make a difference in this world. In 2012, Daniela was featured on the cover of Time magazine with others who were taking up the fight to protect Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, or DACA, students to help alleviate the fears under which many of them live. Time magazine, cover woman. On campus, she has collaborated with the Immigrant Scholarship Task Force, which raises funds for undocumented and DACA students. After enrolling in the Latino Leadership Opportunity Program on the campus, she learned how to research, and she learned how that research can be applied to help advocate for change for vulnerable communities. After she graduates today with a degree in anthropology and a minor in cognitive science, Daniela wants to attend graduate school to study how people's decisions are influenced by cultural experiences and background, and eventually apply this knowledge to public policy. In recognition, Daniela, of your accomplishments throughout your time at your university and your selfless drive to help others, I am pleased to present to you, we are pleased to present to you, the 2017 John F. Kennedy Award for Academic Excellence on the brink of his 100th birthday. To you, Daniela Bravo-Terkia. It's now my pleasure to introduce our JFK Award winner, Daniela Bravo-Terkia. She's going to present her remarks on behalf of the class of 2017. Come on over here, Daniela, and do that.
Good morning to the graduating class of 2017. Thank you, Chancellor Motley, Provost Langley, parents, family, friends, faculty, and staff. I would also like to say thank you to the people that worked in our cafeterias, prepare our much-needed coffees in the morning, and who clean our spaces at UMass Boston. Thank you. It is extremely important to acknowledge their work because those are the jobs also done by people like us, our families and friends, and immigrants trying to support their families or finance their education. Thank you. Most importantly, I would like to congratulate the 2017 graduates for this very monumental day and accomplishment. Let me begin by saying that although I'm very humbled and honored to be the John F. Kennedy awardee, I can honestly say that I had mixed feelings about the nomination. One of the first thoughts that popped in my mind was, why me? After a lot of reflection and talks with some amazing faculty here at UMass, I finally realized I have the great honor to be standing here today because of all of you. I have been extremely fortunate to meet and interact with other amazing students that not only make UMass Boston the best public university in the city, but with students that have motivated me and inspired me the person that I am today. Let me share with you some of the amazing stories of these students. For starters, I would like to mention Fernando Andino Valdez, a social psychology student who has been recognized by the psychology department because of all his work on disability issues here on campus, while he's a disabled student himself. Next, I would also like to mention all of the research assistants from the Gaston Institute for inspiring me every day with their own stories, research ideas, and for caring about Latinos issues, especially to the international students that work at the Institute who are struggling paying for college and working at the same time. Thank you. Lastly, I would also like to mention Renata Teodoro, a fellow student, for her motivation, strength, and courage for everything she does for undocumented and DACA students here on campus, and for establishing the TEM Trend and Cynthia Felix Immigrant Achiever Scholarships. I truly admire you, and you are an inspiration to all of us. Although these are only a few samples, I know that UMass Boston is filled with incredible students, many who are here today despite personal challenges, illnesses, and financial difficulties. Today, we have all arisen above our struggles. Not only I would like to celebrate these students, but everyone in the class of 2017. And I would also like to give myself some credit and savor this very special moment with all of you. Standing here today comes with a great sense of responsibility because I know I cannot represent all the wonderful students that are graduating today. But I can convey a story of what I do know. I'm a 29-year-old woman who's an immigrant from Chile who has an accent. I have been in the United States for 17 years, and I arrived when I was only 12 years old with very limited English. Although only a small number of people know about my experience in the country, my story is full of struggles and obstacles that portray the stories of invisible people, of people living in the shadows. I sat in your classrooms, I ate in your cafeteria, I used your library and computers, but many of you probably did not know that I am one of the approximately 775,000 people that benefited from President Obama's Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals that grants a work permit and a legal presence in the United States, but it isn't a pathway for citizenship. And for many years, I was one of the approximately 11 million undocumented immigrants living in the United States. One of the messages I would like to convey with all of you today is the fact that this experience is shared among many students from every racial and ethnic background, and some are even graduating with me today. Sharing this piece of information with all of you is important because, as you can see, I don't carry a label that states my legal status, nor the multiple identities that make me the woman that I am today. I am a person with big dreams, ambitions, and desires, but who has been often stereotyped incorrectly due to media criminalization and through the broken immigration system. As some of you may know, being undocumented in this country is not a criminal offense. It is only a civil one. In reality, I'm much more than a label and a stereotype. And as you can see right now, I'm a person with feelings and emotions too. My experience of living in the shadow had its own set of unique challenges and obstacles, including the inability of being a full-time student, having to take semesters off because I didn't have the financial means of paying for school, since I cannot get a loan or state scholarships. Thus, I had to take several low-wage, low-skill jobs to pay for my education while helping my mother financially. It has taken me about 10 years to get my bachelor's degree. It was a big sacrifice by both my mother and I for me to graduate from college, since my father passed away in 2006. The same year I graduated high school, and our financial status was in peril. We constantly lived in stress and fear about the future. Because of these reasons, my mental health was extremely compromised. When your legal status is not stable, the fear of deportation and the stress associated with this experience eventually become depression and anxiety, which are illnesses that left deep wounds that not even a green card will be able to fix. In addition, my identity as a Latina immigrant has been deeply impacted by this experience because yo no soy ni de aquí ni de allá. I'm not from here or there. So I often struggle about where I fit in this country. Finally, even though I can honestly say that I'm very fortunate that this experience has not happened to me personally, some undocumented students had to live and support themselves alone because their families were torn apart by deportation. Because of all these experiences, I can honestly say that I am stronger because I had to be. However, these struggles ultimately became my drive and passion to make a difference in this world. I am no longer afraid or living in the shadows, and I try to empower others by sharing my story through the powerful act of storytelling. My past experiences have taught me that there is so much to be done in this country to achieve social justice. And this is the type of work I would like to do in the future, by teaching and helping other immigrants to know their rights through empowerment, which with the current political climate, we need to create a more welcoming and safe environment for everyone in this country, regardless of where they come from and the legal status they have. These are some of the reasons why I became a proud anthropology student, in order to understand and help marginalized communities of people of color. During my time here at UMass Boston, I wore many hats. Not only was I a student and a research assistant at the Gaston Institute, but I am now the administrative assistant. I am very thankful that I had the privilege to play each role very proudly during my time here. This reflection made me ponder how the majority of us had had several duties while attending our degrees in this university. Most of us work full-time or have multiple jobs, have families and children to take care of, or come to UMass Boston as transfer students and international students from all over the world, which are obstacles that we all surpass today. I was a transfer student from Bunker Hill Community College, which is the first higher education institution that helped me catch up academically and prepare me to succeed here. After becoming a student at UMass Boston, I also realized how beautifully diversified this campus truly is. While our identities go beyond racial characteristics and are very complex due to religion, sexual orientation, legal status, and many more, the beautiful aspect is that we all come together to learn from each other on this campus, which truly represents what UMass Boston is all about. Thank you. I truly believe that during my time here, not only did I get all the tools needed to succeed, but it also helped me to find and be the proud Latina woman that I am today. Porque yo soy una inmigrante de Chile, because I am an immigrant from Chile. Thank you. I would of course like to thank the wonderful faculty and staff at the anthropology and psychology departments, especially to the professors that contributed tremendously to my growth and supported me by encouraging me to continue my journey and share many opportunities with me. I would also like to say thank you to the Mauricio Gaston Institute for Latino Community Development and Public Policy for all the years of support, especially from the director and other staff and faculty there. But most importantly, I would like to take this time and thank my mother for not only helping me financially, but for offering her unconditional love by cooking delicious traditional Chilean food, but also for all their support and for not letting me give up when I lost hope on one day of becoming an anthropologist. I thank her for being brave. I thank her for being brave and making the hard decision to move to this country to provide a better life for myself. Without my mother's sacrifice, I would not be the same woman that I am today. Truly, this is what immigrants' parents want for the children, and I feel truly blessed that I can repay her a little by graduating today. In the beginning of this speech, I started off by pondering, why me? Because honestly, I have always struggled with this notion in the past. Ever since my family became a mixed status family, I have often questioned myself by asking, why them and not me? However, after President Obama announced the Fair Action for Childhood Arrivals in 2012, and I was able to apply for it, but I left out millions of people, I have often asked myself, why me and not them? This notion of privilege will always accompany me in everything I plan to do in the future. While attending UMass Boston, I became deeply interested in research. A professor once told me that the best kind of research comes from your own experience and interest. I had the privilege to be exposed to research opportunities such as the Latino Leadership Opportunity Program and the Health Equity Scholars Program. And because of these opportunities, I now see myself as a researcher. In the future, I plan on attending a graduate master's program in evolutionary anthropology and social cognition. My hope is that by studying culture, cognition, and a person's background, I can contribute to research that helps uncover how stereotypes and hate speech against my community are created and overcome. And one day, I am hopeful that this type of research can have a deep public policy impact that can create an inclusive environment for all immigrants. As closing remarks, I would like to share some of my lessons learned. For starters, let's appreciate the complicated dynamics of privilege and challenge one another to use the power we have to understand and nurture the gifts and rights of everyone in our communities, including those that lack the educational opportunities that contributed to our graduation today. Let's start having spaces where these conversations can begin, and that way we can start creating the much-needed solidarity, unity, and empowerment with one another and across groups to fight oppression and systematic racism. Let's focus on the similarities rather than the differences. Most importantly, always be humble and never forget where you come from, and treat with others with the respect and dignity they deserve. Next, I would like to share a message from a very important feminist who deeply changed my views. and her podcast called The Dangers of a Single Story, Nigerian novelist Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie invites us to see that stereotypes are partial, and issues arise when stereotypes make one story become the only story. Thus, I encourage all of us not to be fooled by the dangers of a single story and ask questions. And hopefully, next time that you meet an undocumented immigrant, remember that they're people too, and much more than a label and a stereotype. Finally, I would like to leave you with these words of wisdom from Cesar Chavez. Once social change begins, it cannot be reversed. You cannot uneducate the person who has learned to read. You cannot humiliate the person who feels pride. You cannot oppress the people who are not afraid anymore. Thank you.
I am stronger because I had to be. You are stronger because you've had to be. What an incredible day. Thank you, Daniela, for those wonderful words. You're JFK winner. Thank you. Congratulations.